Hey everyone, we are back at it again with lesson 3. So this is mug making, which basically was the same as bowl making, except for you had to pull it up taller. I personally found this easier. I don't know if it's easier because we're making the mugs or if because we already did the bowls, but to me this was a lot easier than the first session. Although saying that, this is mug 0 for a reason. It was so bad. Basically, what I'm doing right now is just pulling it up, compressing it, and then pulling it up again. And I don't know, well, I probably will know where I went wrong when I get to it again, but this went so badly that it didn't break just once, it didn't break twice, but it broke 3 times, and I had to scrap the clay. So when you see the end picture of all my mugs, there's just a pile of clay beside it because I had to just give up on it. But yeah, it's just like in the first lesson where the instructor was like, yeah, if you think that it looks okay, you should probably stop 5 seconds before you go too far. And that happened so many times in this. When I was watching it and editing it, I was like, I should have just stopped. So here it is. I could have stopped right here and this would have been a perfectly gorgeous mug. But I decided to try and maybe make it more balanced or more narrow, yeah. And then because I did that, I made it too thin, and then I decided to compress it down, and the entire middle of it just collapsed in on itself. It basically makes a bracelet, which you'll see in a minute. But yeah, if only I had stopped seconds prior. And I could have walked away with 6 mugs instead of 5, which 5 mugs is still fine, but could have got an extra one. yeah, I just decided to start again. There was more of me faffing trying to make it salvageable, but I just cut it out because I basically did the exact same mistake again. And I think once you start adding enough water into clay, you basically can't solve your problems after it, so you just kind of have to start again. Some issues with my nails, so I called over the lesson instructor for some help.
You can just like rest this and then just like, because you want to be nice and gentle with your left hand anyway, that's going to give you a bit of a cushion. This is really even, which is great. It is flaring out slightly, so if you wanted to, you could just kind of wrap your hands around it, squeeze in and lift up and bring it back in. Otherwise, super even, that's great. Thank you. But yeah, I was just using sponge inside.
Thank you.
So
also, just, I don't know if I've ever said it before, but basically this class is me, my sister, and then 4 other people. So it's a small class of 6 people. I don't know if more people could join the class, but when we went, it was just 6 of us. And basically the first 30 minutes was the lesson. So the instructor would show us for 30 minutes, and then an hour and a half is just us trying to make as many as possible. I think 4 is like the minimum. And then if you make more, like, good for you. I was barely able to make the 4, and the mugs I was able to throw 1 out at the end because I got a bit quicker at it. But my sister was able to make hundreds, like 8. No, she got 13 pieces in the end, so she must have made 8 and something, and then 6. No, that's bad math. Anyway, but yeah, she made a bunch, and when I show you in the last one that's getting published, that'd be episode 5. I'll show you all of hers as well, but yeah, mental amount that she got out of it. Entirely sure how my hands got so covered in clay during the mug session, but I would say it was definitely worse than the bowl section. Like, it was, by the time I was finishing, it was up to like my elbow was covered in some clay. Just like the bowls, you just get this little cheese wire and you just slide it right under it. And you try your best to pull it off. I did dunt one of my mugs on the way up, but yeah, basically it's honestly identical to making bowls, except from you're just pulling upward instead of out. Because of how covered my hands were with clay, I did occasionally have to clean the wheel to like separate mug from wheel clay. So if you see me like wiping the wheel, you shouldn't have to do that, but because it was so wet with me, yeah, I had to clean the wheel. So I'm not entirely sure what that tool is called, but basically because I wanted a lot of height, it's good to use that little tool to kind of push your inner finger against it and pull up at the same time. It just helps keep everything completely even going up. So that was really handy. And then I did use it to take some of the top off, but on some signs I didn't pull up high enough. You can see like the top is really wiggly. So I ended up having to use like, I don't know what it's called, but I would call it a needle tool. And right here, you can see me just trying to figure out where everything is and just take off that top layer as evenly as possible. Worked out enough, worked out fine. While in the wet phase, you could also add some detail if you wanted to. So I ended up adding like little grooves into it because I kind of wanted two of them to look like tin cans because I thought they'd look cute. If I know now what I do, I would have done them definitely deeper or just put less glaze on it. But you'll see once they're finished. But yeah, I just put a lot of little grooves on them. Bonk. Yeah, smacked off the edge. Even between session 1 and this one, you can see how less gentle I am with it or how much rougher I am. I'm just throwing for speed because you really don't have to be gentle with it. Like, I mean, I think my nails make me be a bit more gentle with it anyway, just because I don't want to dunt it with the nails because that's like creating a hole. But like, I was throwing these out, I was chucking them, which is maybe why the first one was just, maybe I was being a bit too harsh with it. But yeah, it was definitely, you get into a rhythm and you're just like, I will throw this out and it will be done. Like the first one, this kind of top ring bit fell off. I just cut it out because it was just basically me taking it away. But it fell off and it left like this little round cauldron shape. So I think I just ended up keeping it pretty round. And honestly, it's one of my favorite ones because of how like spherical and pretty it is. It's like honestly perfect. Maybe it's mother's bias to say that it's perfect, but I believe it. Also, you can kind of see that a lot of these have like a lot flatter shaped bottoms than like the top. Obviously mugs wouldn't be like that. So the reason I keep it like that is because I know that I'm going to carve that out. So a lot of these will change shape drastically in the next session. This one is my second tin can, so I'm just gonna add the ribs on this one and then finish it off. It was a bit smaller, so this one I think, or this one was the bigger one, I can't remember, but one of them ended up being like more sake cup size and the other one was more like mug sized. This one was my little extra one, so we basically had to think of it like 5 minutes just to roughly throw one out and just get it finished. And I don't know if this is the one that didn't turn out perfectly glazing wise, but yeah, chucked it, tried to throw it up as quick as possible, mostly because we also wanted to make the train. So the train that we got there and back, if you didn't leave on time, you missed it, and then you had to wait 30 minutes. So my sister was trying to get me out of the door because she was a lot faster at throwing them. But yeah, I mean, it's still usable, still fine. It's just the glaze kind of came off the top. I don't know how to explain it, but once I've made the fifth one, you will see all the differences. which I'm really excited for people to see the finished result, because honestly the glaze like really makes it come to life. And I've done some fun things on some of them. I don't know if I ever went over it at the end of any of the other videos, but basically when you're done making it, you slip it off like this, and you put it on a piece of wood in front of your little desk. I don't know if it has to be wood or if it can be acrylic, or I don't know. But after that, you then take all of your tools, or you wipe the board down like I'm doing, but then you take the tools and you put them all in a big wet bucket, and you take off your little aprons and you put them in a dirty apron pile, basically. I assume if you're doing this in the house, it's up to your own liberties how often you clean your tools, but here I think they clean them between every session. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I will see you whenever I get the next one out. I will not be committing to another Sunday. My sister watched it because she's like waiting for them all to come out to see her pieces, but she was like, why isn't it out? And I was like, I don't know, sorry. But yeah, it'll be out as soon as possible.